Welcome to HVTV1 Student News, live on HVTV1.com. The following is a special presentation of the Hidden Valley High School Mustangs of Murphy, Oregon. Welcome to the Bi-Mart Game and Event of the Week, presented by Evergreen Federal Bank. This event is sponsored in part by Oregon California Supply, by Fields Ace Home Center, by Southern Oregon Sanitation, by CircleK.com, powered by Colvin Oil, by Robco, and by Burger Kings of Southern Oregon. Hidden Valley High School Athletics and Activities is also sponsored in part by great contributors and donors like Don Carter Enterprises, Hidden Valley Market, Pete Allen Surveying, by Stephen Stark Excavation, Dar Benton Construction, by Southern Oregon Audio Visual, and by Riverside Ready Mix. Thanks for watching HVTV1 Student News live on HVTV1.com.
Hello and welcome to HVTV1 Student News. This is the Bi-Mart Event of the Week presented by Evergreen Federal Bank on HVTV1.com. HVTV1 is sponsored in part by Fields Ace Home Center, by Burger King, by Robco, Oregon California Supply, Southern Oregon Sanitation, MyCircleK.com, and Riverside Ready Mix. I'm Josh Eldridge. Along with me is going to be the HVTV1 broadcasting class, coming to you live from Hidden Valley High School, ready to bring you this exciting Veterans Day Memorial Assembly that Hidden Valley puts on, one of the best events of the year. No game today, just a great event put on by Hidden Valley staff and continuing the tradition this year. A really awesome thing we put on. A bunch of veterans come in from around the county and we honor them here, and we'll get to a little bit more of that later. But coming up, we'll give you a look at what's ahead here on the itinerary at Hidden Valley High School. So, of course, we'll have the entrance of the Color Guard, the Star Spangled Banner, the Pledge of Allegiance led by Hidden Valley ASB officers. Principal Brian Miller will welcome everyone in and get the show started. After that, we'll have a video that Hidden Valley put together. Not quite sure what that is, but it's going to be exciting to see. Haven't seen it yet. After that, ASB President Avery Richter will introduce our guest speaker, who is Rich Halstead. After that, our HVHS Band and Choir, which you can see right there, will play America the Beautiful. Hidden Valley PA announcer Dale Fisher will then give a roll call. Every veteran here will stand up and get a round of applause. James Cook, in the Hidden Valley class last year, I'm not sure if he is this year, will play taps. Flag will be retired, and Principal Miller will close the afternoon. And then we won't bring you this, obviously, but veterans will then have lunch right behind that wall of the American flag. There's a wall back there, a small gym, having lunch back there. Really cool event. Can't wait to get this started. One of my favorite of the year. And hope you can join us and watch the ceremonies right here on HVTV1.com. We'll be back after this.
It's the season of sneezes and sniffles, and your Bi-Mart Pharmacy is here to help you keep them away. We have everything you need to stay healthy, including flu shots currently available for the whole family. Call or stop by your Bi-Mart Pharmacy for available times and get vaccinated today. And be sure to get ready with cough drops, cold medicine, and natural remedies while you're here. Bi-Mart, get ready for your season for less. It's the season of sneezes and sniffles, and your Bi-Mart Pharmacy.
HVTV1.com and Hidden Valley High School wishes to give a special thanks to Evergreen Federal Bank and President Jeff Hyde. Thanks for the Evergreen Federal Bank Sports Complex on the beautiful campus of Hidden Valley High School. Evergreen Federal Bank. Today's event on HVTV1.com is presented in part by great donors and contributors to Hidden Valley High School, such as Don Carter Enterprises, Hidden Valley Market, and Pete Allen Surveying. HVTV1.com and these great events at Hidden Valley High School are also sponsored in part by great contributors and donors such as Stephen Stark Excavation and by Dar Benton Construction. And special thanks to Southern Oregon Audio Visual and Ciro Bignati, and by Riverside Ready Mix. Make the call to Riverside Ready Mix.
welcome back to HVTV1's Veterans Day Assembly right here on HVTV1.com. So, things scheduled to start at 10:55 right now. Should have students begin to shuffle in here any old time. But just to give you an idea of what the schedule's been like at Hidden Valley High School today, started normal time, 8 o'clock, as it always does. But instead of normal classes, these Hidden Valley students have had guest speakers in all these different classrooms. Whatever veteran that might be, in all these different classrooms. They had that for the first 3 periods of the day, which when I was going here, that was I think that was the best experience they did. They tell stories, answer questions, whatever questions anyone may have. Just a really cool thing that these people come here and do for these students. And, for those who pay attention, it's really eye-opening to what these brave men and women went through if they're willing to open up to that. But, 3 periods of these guest speakers, and they're coming here for the Veterans Day Assembly. Then it's back to normal for them for the rest of the day. But really, when I was a student here for 2 years, really looking forward to this day. We got a few of the veterans showing up already. The choir and band teacher, Mr. Green, getting down there, setting up as well. They've been here for quite some time when I was setting up, still warming up. They sound really good. Brian Miller, looks like he's getting up there, testing some audio. Speaking of audio, we'd like to thank Ciro Bignati of Southern Oregon Audio Visual for patching us in. Going to hear everything that is going to go on up there on the podium. I'd like to thank him for helping us get set up in the Hidden Valley Gym. Students start to shuffling in. You can see them squeezing through the door. But this place will fill up quickly. And for me, I was always really excited again for this event. Some of the students, may not be as interested, but for me, this was always one of the coolest things. So the students shuffle in here. We'll take one more break. And this is Hidden Valley's Veterans Day Assembly right here on HVTV1.com.
Wild River Pizza, also brought to you by Riverside Ready Mix. Make the call to Riverside Ready Mix for all of your home improvement projects. Whether you're pouring a sidewalk, patio, or RV pad, call Riverside Ready Mix at 476-1424. Again, that's 476-1424. If you're looking to update your wardrobe this fall, contact Lou LaRoe Nikki McGuire on Facebook or call her at 541-621-5146. Again, that's Lou LaRoe Nikki McGuire on Facebook or 541-621-5146.
HVTV1 Student News is sponsored in part by Fields Ace Home Center, your hometown hardware store where you drive a little and save a lot. Fields Ace Home Center is open 7 days a week in Murphy. This event also sponsored in part by Burger Kings of Southern Oregon. Since 1954, our flame-grilled, freshly prepared tradition goes into every order from Burger Kings of Southern Oregon. Oregon California Supply is your one-stop shop for construction, logging, rigging, hose and hydraulic lines and fittings, and fire and safety equipment. Oregon California Supply in Grants Pass next to Wild River Pizza. Make a pit stop today at My Circle K, powered by Colvin Oil, and enjoy a Polar Pop any day, any size, just 89 cents. And get a kickback rewards card and earn points with every purchase. Points you can redeem just like cash. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com.
All right, welcome back to HVTV1's presentation of the Veterans Day Assembly going on right here in the Hidden Valley Gym. Students continuing to shuffle in. Should get started any minute. Again, we're starting off with the presentation of the flag and, of course, the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we'll hear from Principal Brian Miller and what he's going to have to say to kick us off on this fine morning. still settling in. So again, after Principal Miller, we'll have a video that I haven't seen yet, but they're usually pretty good that they do here at the Veterans Day Assembly. ASB President Avery Richter will introduce our guest speaker, and we'll continue to get the show rolling. Dale Fisher will give the roll call. Always a very cool event. Veterans Day on Sunday this week, November 11th. It's gotten a little bit chilly outside, so hopefully your barbecues aren't ruined on Sunday. But a very cool day here at Hidden Valley High School for sure. Still got classes coming in. Again, we'd like to thank Ciro Bignati of Southern Oregon Audio Visual. Helped us get set up here so we can listen into everything that's going on up front. And I believe we'll try to get a couple interviews down there with some veterans. HVTV1 exclusives, if you will. But still a very cool event that goes on here at Hidden Valley. Couldn't stress this enough. It was one of my favorites of the 2 years. Very, very cool. Looks like Mr. Miller might be heading to the podium now. That's what it seems like, so we'll tune into him momentarily. Going to be up at that podium right there. It's kind of tough to see. You'll see him when he gets up on that stage. They do a whole remodel of this gym. It doesn't even quite look like a gym right now. In fact, they put that tarp on the floor and get all those steel chairs going. And really, a lot of work goes into this ceremony, and it really is worth it to anyone who's involved. We thank you, all the Hidden Valley staff, to get this going. I think it's fair to apologize in advance if you hear something fly around. We're amongst the students. I think it's fair to say. Gonna have to stay on my toes. The students next to us. So we're going to throw it to one more break before we get the ceremony going right here on HVTV1. Again, it's the Veterans Day Assembly right here on HVTV1.com.
Is here to help you keep them away. We have everything you need to stay healthy, including flu shots currently available for the whole family. Call or stop by your Bi-Mart pharmacy for available times and get vaccinated today. And be sure to get ready with cough drops, cold medicine, and natural remedies while you're here. Bi-Mart, get ready for your season for less. It's the season of sneezes and sniffles, and your Bi-Mart pharmacy is here to help you keep them away. We have everything you need to stay healthy, including flu shots currently available for the whole family. Call or stop by your Bi-Mart pharmacy for available times and get vaccinated today. And be sure to get ready with cough drops, cold medicine, and natural remedies while you're here. Bi-Mart, get ready for your season for less.
All right, welcome back to HVTV1's presentation of the Veterans Day Assembly here at Hidden Valley High School. Brian Miller, the principal, just going over protocol here. Not really starting yet, but we should get the presentation of the color guard here in any second, so we'll tune into him up there at the podium.
Can all Hidden Valley staff please sit in the stands with their classes, please? Your advisor class. Thank you.
Momentarily should have the presentation of the colors. And then we'll get this thing underway. Again, the HVTV1 Hidden Valley High School Veterans Day Assembly brought to you by Bi-Mart and Evergreen Federal Bank. Thank everyone involved. Again, cannot thank enough Ciro from Southern Oregon Audio Visual getting us set up with the PA. Very cool deal we have going here at Hidden Valley High School.
Good morning, everybody. Will everybody please rise? Remove your hats.
please remain standing and remove all caps for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Good morning. My name is Brian Miller. I'm the principal here at Hidden Valley High School. And on behalf of the Three Rivers School District Board, our superintendent, and staff and students here at Hidden Valley High School, I'd like to welcome you to today's celebration of our veterans. This being our 7th annual Tribute Assembly and Reflection Day here in Valley High School, I'd like to specifically say thank you to our district leaders as they supported this great community event. We'd like to thank Mr. Dave Vanzuela, our superintendent, our directors, Casey Alderson, Jessica Durant, Stephanie Hart, and J.P. Richards, along with our school board members, Paul Kelly, Rich Halstead, Kate Dwyer, Jennifer Johnston, and Danny York. Today is an honor for Hidden Valley High School, our district, and our community, as we honor veterans for the service and dedication to our country. This morning, veterans had the opportunity to tell stories to students firsthand. They learned about honor, sacrifice, teamwork, service, and hard work. This is a day Hidden Valley staff and students will remember for the rest of their lives. This is an experience that doesn't come from a book or a movie, but comes from real life experiences. Please accept our appreciation for your willingness to share. And at this time, will the veterans that's told their stories this morning to our students, please stand and be recognized at this time. Again, thank you for your time in our classrooms this morning. I believe that these life experiences make our young people pause to reflect that the sacrifice that those who have fought to preserve our freedoms is great. Today is also about a time which we can slow down enough to honor our veterans that have defended our country. And today we celebrate together the freedoms of the selfless service of our service men and women. It is my hope that all our veterans here today get the message that you are heroic and respected. We want you to know that your example serves to inspire all of us. So today, on behalf of our school, I hope you are honored based on the impact that you left with others both in the past and the present. We clearly understand that freedom is not free. To our veterans, we all say thank you on helping build a foundation that is stronger today in our community, our school, our state, and our nation. Students, staff, and community members, at this time, will you please rise to your feet and thank our veterans?
Mr. Rich Halstead is a retired Marine. He enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps in June 1986, following graduation from Oregon State University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science. Mr. Halstead had a variety of command and staff assignments and has served at numerous major Marine Corps and Navy installations during a 27-year career. Mr. Halstead concluded his career as part of military faculty, Joint and Combined Warfighting School, and National Defense University. Following military service, Mr. Halstead worked for Amazon as an operation manager and most recently as the Director of Human Resources at Harry & David. Mr. Halstead holds a Master of Arts degree in Human Resource Development from Webster University and is a graduate of various military schools including Air War College, Army Command and General Staff College, and Amphibious Warfare School. Currently, Mr. Halstead is a member of Lions Club International, a board member of the Three Rivers School District, and volunteers for various other organizations. Please help me give a warm welcome to Mr. Rich Halstead.
And that's ASB President Avery Richter on the microphone there, and inviting our guest speaker.
I love audibles. All right, thank you. Oh, first picture's up. Wow, you guys are efficient. Before I get started with my remarks, I wanted to give you a short story, and it pertains to, next slide. There we go. Every year, Marines around the world celebrate the birthday of the Marine Corps on 10 November. Usually with a birthday ball or some other commemoration. I've had it off an MRE cookie in the middle of the field out in Central America when we were deployed. In 2009, I took my family to the Marine Corps Ball in Riga, Latvia, and was looking forward to simply relaxing and enjoying the ceremony. About 3 hours before the ball started, the detachment commander came up to me and told me the guest speaker's flight got delayed and he wouldn't be able to make it. On top of this, he let me know that he wanted me to fill in. The ball was to be attended by several high-ranking Latvian officials and one of our assistant secretaries of state, as well as our embassy officials and ambassadors. Obviously, with only 3 hours to figure out what I was going to say, I asked him what I should talk about. His simple, perfect, direct Marine answer was 10 minutes. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I certainly got the point. I'd like to thank Hidden Valley students and staff for taking the time to recognize the veterans today. As a school board member, I find the district is a lot like peacetime Marines. What we sometimes lack in funding, we simply make up in talent and heart. And I'm appreciative of everyone in this district and the effort they put forth. Hidden Valley, though, is known throughout Southern Oregon for their patriotism. And I have heard over and over again what a fantastic experience this is for our veterans and how much they appreciate it. Thank you. To the veterans here today, I can't express how humbling it is for me to be among you. I am simply in awe of who you are and what you stand for. I can't thank you enough for the freedom and prosperity our country maintains. You signed a blank check and took an oath of office to put your life on the line for our nation. Thank you, and God bless you. As I mentioned, this is truly a humbling experience. 5 years, or about 30 pounds ago, I left active duty. It was the hardest decision I ever made. I always based my priorities in life on my faith, my family, my country, and the Marine Corps. With both kids on the West Coast for college and a wife who had a dream to teach at Applegate, it was my turn to fully support them. Looking back every day around Marines, as well as my service colleagues from the Army, Air Force, Navy, and Coast Guard, was a blessing. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't all sunshine and lollipops, but every opportunity to serve with these great Americans inspired me to be the best person I could be. I want to take a couple minutes to share a couple stories about two veterans who inspired me to serve and are examples of these inspiring veterans we have in our attendance. Next slide, please. This young Marine ran away from home in Chicago at the age of 14 and found an opportunity with the Marine Corps at the start of World War II thanks to a forged birth certificate. He found himself landing on the beaches of Tarawa and Iwo Jima. Following World War II, he joined the Army and spent time with the occupation forces in Japan, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War before retiring in Germany, where he met my mom. His impact on me was profound. I spent a lot of time in my childhood visiting veterans' homes, VFW clubs, VA facilities. The sense of service he inspired in me didn't register until after he passed away in 1982. Following that, the story started to come out on how much he helped the community, whether at a local church, delivering gifts to needy children, or taking veterans to their VA appointments. In fact, last year, I was at a school meeting in Salem, and one of the participants asked me if I was related to him, telling me how he helped a family from her work over 40 years ago. From him, I learned that integrity, and by that I mean not lying, not cheating, not stealing, and having courage to stand up for what is right, and more importantly, for others, were the key traits of a service member. Next slide, please. This Marine, I chose these photos because this is what a typical veteran among us looked like, is the Vietnam-era recruitment story. Apparently, the judge in Bellingham, Washington, was not impressed with his post-high school attitude and encouraged him to join the Marine Corps infantry during Vietnam. He was an exceptional Marine rifleman and highly decorated, using the leave in between Vietnam tours to come home and help his mom start a blueberry farm. After being discharged from active duty, he continued to build the farm into what it is today, along with a cattle ranch and several other crops. However, he still felt the need to be around Marines and join the reserves. He's one of the few service members I know to see action in both Vietnam and Afghanistan. Later in his career, his mom passed away. Finally, the Marines were able to award him the Purple Heart. You see, he was wounded in Vietnam, and his concern was what effect it would have on his mom if she knew he got hurt. I've never known anyone as humble as my cousin Harry Williams, but I bet a lot of veterans here would do anything to keep their families from worrying about them. It isn't only the veterans who make sacrifices, but the families that support them. My daughter went through 3 high schools, my son being resilient enough to reprove himself in every sport and activity at each duty station. My wife and I moved over 12 times, and I left several times on no-notice deployments, not knowing how long I was going to be gone or sometimes exactly where I was going to end up. I did what I loved, but it was my family that truly was supporting the mission. If you take the time to thank a veteran, please also remember to take the time to remember the folks that support them. They are my heroes. Next slide, please. So, for me, what is this about? Here you see 2 of my fellow warriors, Master Sergeant Allo and Sergeant Major Parsons, who are both still on active duty. I had the privilege to be their commanding officer. Master Sergeant Allen led his detachment in Yerevan, Armenia, with such skill that he became a model for the rest of the region. Sergeant Major Parsons was not only my senior enlisted leader, but I couldn't have had a better friend. A John Bassalone Award recipient. I'll let you Google who John Bassalone was and and what he stood for, he was simply the finest Marine I ever served with. It was honor serving side by side with veterans like these who represent those here today, knowing that they have the honor, courage, and commitment to have my back, and the opportunity to be around them is such a blessing. Last slide, please. Finally, my challenge to you. The veterans met word with deeds. They did what they said they were going to do. For the actions they took defending this nation allows the freedom for everyone to make the most out of the opportunities this nation gives. The greatest way to honor a veteran is to be the best person you can be. You don't have to be a veteran to stand up for what is right, to be a person of integrity, to help someone else, or to work to the best of your abilities. I found the beauty of education is the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. Humble yourselves and strive to make the most of the opportunities these veterans and the ones who gave their lives made for you. In my opinion, it is the best way to honor a veteran. Thank you all, and God bless.
My mama's sitting there. Looks like I only got a one-way ticket over here. I sure wish I could give you one more kiss. And war was just a game we played when we were kids. Well, I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots. I'm up here with God and we're both watching over you. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town. And oh, my soul is where my mama always prayed. If you're reading this, I'm already home. If you're reading this, halfway around the world, I won't be there to see the birth of our little girl. I hope she looks like you. I hope she fights like me. Stands up for the innocent and the weak. I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots. Tell Dad I don't regret that I followed in his shoes. So lay me down in that open field out on I'm already home. If you're reading this, there's gonna come a day when you move on and find someone else, and that's okay. Just remember this. I'm in a better place, where soldiers live in peace and angels sing amazing grace. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town, and Lord, my soul is where my mom always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home.
I am honored with the privilege of presenting the roll call of veterans in attendance today. Staff Sergeant Michael Anders from the Air Force served in Africa 2009 to 2013. Fireman First Class Chuck Anglin of the Navy served in World War II, 1945-1946. Command Master Chief David Applegate from the United States Navy served in Vietnam, 1962 to 1994. Corporal Robert Audette from the Marine Corps served in Vietnam, 1969 to 1970. Specialist Stephen Barnes, United States Army, served in Europe, 1984 to 88, 93 to 95. HM1 Kenneth Barnett from the United States Navy served in Vietnam, served from 1953 to 1975. Sergeant David Bartolome, United States Army, served in multiple engagements 1996 to 2005. Please forgive me if I blow it on your names. Sergeant Brandon Below from the United States Army served in Germany and OEF 2007 to present. He's currently in service. Corporal Billy Brister from the United States Marines served in Vietnam 1966 to 69. Specialist Bob Cartmel from the United States Army served 1957 to 1959. Sergeant John Christensen, United States Army, served in Vietnam in the Medical Corps 1975 to 1982. Machinist Mate Second Class Richard Clipp, United States Navy, served in Vietnam 1971 to 1975. Corporal Fred Kahn, United States Marines, served in Vietnam 1962 to 1966. E4 Timothy Cook, United States Army, served in Iraq 2005 to 2011. First Sergeant Dennis Crawford, United States Army, served in Vietnam, served from 1966 to 1992. E5 John Crawford, United States Army, served in Vietnam 1968 to 1970. Lieutenant Colonel Alan Cruz, United States Air Force, served in Vietnam, served from 1967 to 2003. Corporal Robert Curtin, United States Army, served in West Germany 1961 to 1963. Private First Class George Ike Eisenhower, United States Army, 1960 to 1963. Lieutenant Colonel Bill Ertel, United States Army, served in Berlin and Vietnam, 1967 to 1971. Private First Class Pat Fitzsimmons, United States Army, served in Korea 1961 to 1964. Captain Michael Foree, United States Air Force, served 1942 to 1958. Petty Officer, Second Class Bill Francis, United States Navy, served in Korea 1949 to 1956. RM2E5 James Fredenberg, United States Navy, served in Desert Shield. Served in Desert Shield 1979 to 1992. Petty Officer Kyle Gaines, United States Coast Guard. Served in the Pacific Rim 2002 to 2006. Radioman Third Class Donald German, United States Navy, served in the Korean War 1951 to 1955. Mr. Tyler Gordon. That's all I have for you, brother. Currently in service. Sergeant Major Jerry Green, United States Army, served in Vietnam, served from 1971 to 1998. Corporal Tony Guillory, United States Marines, served in World War II. FS1 Danny Gutfeld, United States Coast Guard, served in the Cold War. Served 1976 to 1980 and 1984 to 2000. Chief Petty Officer Carlos Gutierrez, United States Navy. Served in the Persian Gulf 1973 to 1994. Petty Officer Second Class Bob Haig, United States Navy, served in Vietnam. (1964 to 1968). E9 Terry Haynes, United States Navy, served in Vietnam, Desert Storm, and Iraq. Lance Corporal Jim Hicks, United States Marine Corps. He served 3 tours in Vietnam and was in service for 4 years. Captain Marty Hillman, United States Air Force, served in the Dominican Republic and Vietnam from 1963 to 1969. Staff Sergeant Quayle Hilmer, United States Army, served in Afghanistan, Japan, Iraq from 2004 to 2012.
And you're listening to Dale Fisher.
Sergeant John Hudick, United States Army, served in Okinawa 1955 to 1963. Staff Sergeant Ron Cole, Air Force and United States Army, served in Vietnam. Ron served for 35 years from 1965 to 2000. Lieutenant Butch Lampkin, United States Marines, served in Vietnam 1969 to 1972. SP4 Lynn Levitt, United States Army, 1954 to 1956. Captain Roy Lindsay, United States Air Force, served 1958 to 1965 in Germany. Specialist Timothy Marshall, United States Army. Served 2012 to 2017 in Kuwait and Iraq. Staff Sergeant Joel Messman, United States Army. Operation Enduring Freedom for 8 years. Staff Sergeant Jason Mooney, United States Army. Served 5 years, served in Somalia and Africa. Corporal Evan Oliver, United States Marines. Operation Enduring Freedom and multiple other engagements from 2010 to 2014. Spec 5 John Porter, United States Army, served in Vietnam for 2 years. EN3 David Quick, United States Navy, served 1983 to 1987. Sergeant Charlie Rabjohn, United States Army, served in Germany 1961 to 1964. E5 Mineman Dale Roderick, United States Navy, served in Vietnam, served 1954 to 1979. E3 Francis Rowan, United States Navy, served in Vietnam, served 1963 to 1970. Torpedoman E4 Larry Rydell, United States Navy, served in Vietnam, served 1967 to 1970. Sergeant Timothy Secreta, United States Army, served 1965 to 1968. Private First Class Edward Sanders, United States Army, served in World War II, China, and Burma, 1944 to 1946. Sergeant Gordon Schmieder, United States Air Force, served 1972 to 1975. BM3 Roy Service, United States Navy, 1952 to 1956. Private First Class Joel Snow, United States Army, served in Korea and Vietnam. Sergeant Larry Stone, United States Army, served in Vietnam. E3 Jake Tomczak, National Guard, 2016 to current. Brigadier General James Van Delden, United States Air Force. Served 1971 to 2001, including the engagement of Desert Storm. Sergeant P. Phelps Vermilia, I hope I got that right, United States Air Force. Served in Vietnam, 1967 to 1969. P.O. First Class William Wallace, United States Navy, served in Vietnam. He served from 1959 to 1969. Staff Sergeant Dave Wright, United States Army, served in Vietnam, 1968 to 1970. E4, Rick Vetter, United States Coast Guard. He was a member of the Honor Guard. Served 1988 to 91 and 98 to 2000. Staff Sergeant Mike Reddington, United States Army, served in Afghanistan. Has served since 2009 and is currently serving. Captain Gene Horton, United States Army, served in Vietnam for 3 years. Currently in service since 2017, E3 Jesse Smock with the Army National Guard. Lieutenant Colonel Colleen Kirkland, United States Army, served in Vietnam, has served for 21 years. Currently serving since 2017, E3 Gabby Luna, United States Army. Major Maxie Jarrell, United States Marines, served in Vietnam, World War II, and Korea. E4 Gerald Garbus, United States Army Reserve, 8 years. E4 Timothy Cedarwall, United States Army National Guard. Served in Iraq and served for 24 and a half years. E4 Chris DeHeckles, United States Army, served in Vietnam, 1969 to 1971. Specialist 4, Chuck Thomas, United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel Rich Halstead, United States Marines, served in Afghanistan, served 1986 to 2013. E6, David Haynes, United States Navy and United States Air Force, served in Desert Storm. Served 1972 to 2009. Chuck Argayo, United States Marines, served in Vietnam, served 1966 to 1973. Let's give one more round of applause for all of our veterans in attendance. United States Marine Corps. United States Navy. United States Coast Guard. United States Air Force.
That old man spent his life living off the land, dirty hands and a clean soul. It breaks his heart seeing foreign cars that old filled with fuel in his life. And a clean soul. He's got the red, white, blue, brown hound on a farm, Semper Fi tattoo on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store for a tag in the back. It says USA. He won't buy. He's got the ready Some will say there's some people know what you like. Says the pledge of allegiance every day in the President's Day. He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on a bar. Semper Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spend a little more in the store for a tag, and the tag says USA. He won't buy nothing that he can't fix. With WD-40 and a crash, Richie ain't president. He's just in the store for a tag. America says USA. Born in a hot land, raised up a family. King James and Uncle Sam. He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on a palm. Semper Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spend a little more in the store for a tag, and the back says USA. Won't buy nothing that he can't fix. With WD-40 and a crash, Richie ain't president. He's just in the store, made in America. Won't buy nothing that he can't. Made in America. WD-40 and a crash, Richie ain't president. He's just in America. Made in America. Yeah, my old man's that old man. Made in America. Yeah, my old man's that old man. Made in America. Born down in a dead man's town, the first kicker took us when I hit the ground. End up like a dog that's been beat too much, till you spend half your life just to cover him up now. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA, I was born in the USA. Born in the USA now. Got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hands. Sent me off to a foreign land to go and kill the yellow man. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA. Come back home to the refineries. How a man said the son of Phil was up to me. Went down to see my VA man. He said, son, don't you understand now? I had a brother, I can't solve, fighting off down with Vietcong. They're still there, he's all gone. He had a woman, he looked inside gone. I got a picture of him in our arms now. Down the shadow of the penitentiary, out by the gas fires of the refinery. I'm 10 years burning down the road, nowhere to run, ain't got nowhere to go. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA now. Born in the USA.
Please remain standing. Before we end for the day, I have a few last words. For this celebration to happen, it takes a lot of individuals here, not just in our building, but in the community. So I'd like to thank a big round of applause for Nicole Brown, Susie Biller, Mr. Green, and our band and our choir. Sandra Wright and Laura Lynn and all our Student Gov students. Southern Oregon Audio and Cyril Bignati for our sound today. Mr. Haley and our Culinary Arts Foods class for providing lunch today. A big thanks to Francis Rowan for providing our uniforms and our flags. And I'd like to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Rich Halstead, for a great message today. And I'd like to thank everybody in attendance here at Hidden Valley High School, our staff, our students. It was a wonderful day. It will be a day that you'll remember for the rest of your lives. And I thank you veterans for providing that opportunity for our staff and our students today. And lastly, all veterans, please stay in the gym at this time, and I'll give you some instructions. And I am releasing all our students right now to go to lunch, and all veterans and family members, please stay in the gym, and I'll give you new instructions as soon as they leave. Thank you.
All right, Principal Brian Miller finishing up this fine morning, afternoon, whatever you want to call it, here at Hidden Valley High School. When we come back, we'll wrap the whole thing up for you and send you on your way. This has been a Veterans Day Assembly on HVTV1.com.
HVTV1.com and Hidden Valley High School wishes to give a special thanks to Evergreen Federal Bank and President Jeff Hyde. Thanks for the Evergreen Federal Bank Sports Complex on the beautiful campus of Hidden Valley High School. Evergreen Federal Bank. Today's event on HVTV1.com is presented in part by great donors and contributors to Hidden Valley High School, such as Don Carter Enterprises, Hidden Valley Market, and Pete Allen Surveying. HVTV1.com and these great events at Hidden Valley High School are also sponsored in part by great contributors and donors such as Stephen Stark Excavation and by Dar Benton Construction. And special thanks to Southern Oregon Audio Visual and Ciro Bignati, and by Riverside Ready Mix. Make the call to Riverside Ready Mix.
All right, welcome back to HVTV1.com. So we're just finishing up the Veterans Day Assembly, taking pictures with all the veterans right now. Such a great day here at Hidden Valley High School, one of my favorites of the year. Though I have graduated last year, it was still one of my favorites of the whole year. All the veterans coming in, we honor them and have music. The choir doing a great job. I'd like to thank everyone involved. If you missed it, you can always go back and watch the replay here on HVTV1.com, but Guest speaker Rich Halstead having a great message, you know, all about the support, the families. If you think of veteran, think their family as well, and I think that's a great message as well. And just a great day here at Hidden Valley High School. So now that the assembly is done, all these veterans going to go to lunch right next door behind the screen and the flag off to our left. And all the students, they go to lunch too, then they'll back to fourth period. So you got to go learn a thing or two, I guess. But hopefully they did this morning, these veterans coming into the class, and a really great day again for everyone involved. Again, not this weekend is actual Veterans Day on Sunday. Hope it's not too cold for you, and hope it doesn't rain too much. But we're going to wrap it up here on HVTV1.com. We encourage you to go back and watch this if you just joined us about halfway through. Really a great ceremony here on HVTV1.com. And a great day around Hidden Valley High School. Thank Brian Miller for getting this together. Also, Ciro Bignati from Southern Oregon Audio Visual for hooking us up with the Old Gym audio. Big thanks to him. Also, Evergreen Federal Bank President Jeff Hyde giving us the great facilities in here at Hidden Valley High School. So many names to go down the list. Nicole Brown, Susie Biller, Hidden Valley High School, helping us get started. Miss Wright and Miss Towns as well for ASB and leadership around here at Hidden Valley High School. And then, of course, one more big thank you to all the veterans, the brave men and women who came in here and spoke to the classroom and gave these students a day to remember. That'll about do it for us right here on HVTV1.com. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Hidden Valley Veterans Day Assembly here on HVTV1.com. Again, I really implore you to go back and watch a replay of this event. If you joined us about halfway through, you can watch the replay on HVTV1.com or right here on our YouTube page at HVTV1 Student News. The executive producers of HVTV1 are Hidden Valley Principal Brian Miller and Jay Reese. For Oliver Dybala, who is with me on this event, I'm Josh Eldridge. And have a good rest of your day and a great Veterans Day weekend from Hidden Valley High School.